Καλημέρα σας, αξιότιμη κυρία Υπουργέ, αξιότιμη κυρία Γενική.
Good morning, Minister, Deputy Minister, Secretary General, Secretary Generals, ambassadors who are here with us, and those who are online, representatives of the business community, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the General Secretariat of International Economic Affairs, I would like to welcome you. We are here to present the National Strategy for Extroversion for 2023. It is the third National Strategy for Extroversion. We are glad because today we have with us representatives of the line ministries, the business community, and the chambers. Those we cooperate with closely to draft this national strategy plan. So let's start. I would like to ask our minister, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, to come up for the opening remarks. You have the floor, Minister. Dear colleague, Secretaries General, ambassadors, representatives of the business community, chairpersons, CEOs, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it's a great joy to welcome you to this presentation of the National Strategy for Extroversion. First of all, I would like to say that this event coincides with the tragic events in Sudan and the anxiety of our compatriots there. We have the rekindling of the civil war around Khartoum, which has created the need to try in all ways and have it as a high priority to ensure the safety and evacuation of our compatriots. And you know, we are trying to implement a very, very difficult plan because of the very difficult situation in the field. With the help of our partners and allies, a sizable number of Greeks have been evacuated from Khartoum. There are more than 50 actually, and the first group has landed in Greece a few minutes ago. Of course, we will do our best to ensure health, safety, their lives, and their safe return to Greece. Now, coming back to today's event, which takes place at the end of the term of this government, I believe that we generally have to mention the reform work of this government. The axis of reforms in the ministry has been modernization of structures, upgrading diplomacy services, and also incorporation of economic diplomacy in our ministry. We want Greece to meet the complex challenges of our times. The effort to promote our country to traditional and new friends, allies, went on in 2022 with new consulates and participation in international fora. Our effort started the day after the official oath over this government. After this government was sworn in, we started. Then we created this new structure in 2021, and we went on working on this objective. The wider objective, of course, is for the Greek economy and to improve our the balance between imports and exports. allow me to believe that this is a necessary objective for national survival. Usually, we don't use these terms to describe financial sizes. Nevertheless, in this case, this is the reality. The national strategy for extroversion to be presented today is a proof of our strategic objective, the objective we have been serving consistently, dear colleague, and this is proven by the fact that this is the third year in the row we have such a national strategy. So I'm not mentioning anything new when saying that continuity and consistency are not the main elements in our country. Nevertheless, allow me to say that here we are creating a new important tradition. And this national strategy is becoming something established in the minds of the public, but also, more importantly, the private sector. It is a clear road map to promote financial and other interests of our country, to promote our products, to enhance exports, and attract direct foreign investment, which is, of course, absolutely necessary for our survival, because we also have the de-investment that happened in Greece during the crisis. The plan of 2022 included actions in 45 countries, and now we have actions, 770 actions. And this is the third pillar of the national strategy of 2022-25 of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And we're proud because the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was the first ministry to implement such a plan, because we think that a national strategy is a necessary tool in the 21st century. 5 strategic axes, 39 strategic objectives, thousands of actions, they all interact. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has a strategically defined diplomacy. This kind of diplomacy has been promoting this new, modern, dynamic Greece. Thank you very much.
Minister, thank you very much. Before I call to the podium the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, let us watch a short video that presents the first Strategic National Plan for Extroversion in 2021 and continues by presenting shortly all the achievements of economic diplomacy during the last 4 years. Let's watch.
Αποτελούν με άλλα λόγια τον μπούσουλα μιας σύγχρονης, αισιόδοξης, εξωστρεφούς και γεμάτης αυτοπεποίθησης διπλωματία, η οποία βλέπει τον έξω κόσμο όχι φοβικά, αλλά με αισιοδοξία, βλέπει ευκαιρίες και όχι απειλές.
Θα μου επιτρέψετε όμως να πω ότι η επιτυχία αυτού του στόχου είναι απαραίτητος όρος της οικονομικής μας επιβίωσης.
Εξωστρέφεια είναι να βγαίνεις έξω από τα όρια της χώρας, αλλά μαζί και έξω από τα όρια που το ίδιο το μυαλό μας έχει επιβάλει. Αυτή είναι η Ελλάδα της εξωστρέφειας. Η Ελλάδα, κυρίες και κύριοι, βαδίζει μπροστά, κοιτάζει ψηλά.
So now I have the honor to call here to the podium the Deputy Minister for Economic Diplomacy and Openness, Mr. Kostas Fragogiannis, who will present us the proceedings of the results for the years 2019-2022. Minister, Secretary General, members of administrative boards, CEOs, chairpersons, representatives of the business world, members of ministries and consulates from all over the world, dear guests. About 4 years ago, with a sense of honor and understanding this great responsibility, I accepted the position that the Prime Minister, Mr. Mitsotakis, assigned to me of Deputy Minister for Economic Diplomacy and Openness. I have been working for about 30 years in the field of international development, so I completely agreed with the vision of the Prime Minister for Extroversion. With the support of Mr. Nikos Dendias, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, thank you, Nikos, for your support, which I would like to thank from this podium. We set the strategic axes for the policies, and we did the necessary changes, institutional changes, that would assist us to move forward with this vision. During my first speech in front of the ministry, the only thing I said was that our goal is a developed economy that is aiming at the improvement of life for every Greek and every Greek family. The strategic goals that we had were, number one, effective economic diplomacy. Number two, the support of Greek exports and the internationalization of the Greek business community, with mergers, with meetings, with all types of activities. Third, the attracting of investments. Number four, the modernization of the institutions of public administration. And five, the redefinition and the building of the brand of an extroverted Greece that goes hand in hand with every business in the public and private sector. So we worked towards the modernization of economic diplomacy at a bilateral and a multilateral level. We created a unified institution of extroversion by putting all the businesses under a general secretariat under the auspices of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I'm talking about Enterprise Greece and the Export Credit Greece organization, which collaborates with a network of 127 embassies and general consulates, 60 offices of economic and commercial affairs. Also, we had very close collaboration with other ministries, bilateral and multilateral institutions, and other types of businesses. The goal was the creation of a true one-stop shop that would be right next to every business in order to solve problems, simplify procedures, make investments easier, both from Greek interests and foreign interests, and also promote openness and extroversion. This effort started becoming very fruitful. The economic diplomacy in collaboration, in combination with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, led us to the designing of a mechanism that was used in the wider strategic plan of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is a proof that this mechanism actually worked. We really found out about this during the last couple of years, during the pandemic, humanitarian crisis, these really difficult years of economic stability. And this led us to believe that we are heading towards the right direction. Mostly the increase of foreign investments and exports really supported the economic and business position of our country, both at a regional and an international level, and it was named a pillar of stability and peace in the area of Eastern Mediterranean. The Economist named Greece the financial champion of 2022 between 44 developed economies, and the OECD characterized Greece as the positive sign of this year. Just a couple of words about macroeconomic numbers, and we will talk about economic diplomacy later on. According to this recent research, all the numbers were higher than the one we had expected. In 2023, we believe that the GDP will go over 244 million euros. It is a great number, 44 times greater than the one we had in 2018. Also, the rate of increase, the rate of development is about double of the general rate in the European Union. According to the strategic goals of economic diplomacy, the amount of exports of goods and services has approached about 50% of our GDP. So this is not too much to say that right now we are over France and Italy in numbers of exports. And also, our exports in 2022 were over 100 billion euros. And the development and the stability of the Greek economy has mostly to do with the extroversion and the investments of those strategic goals. The only thing left is to underline the significant lowering of the unemployment rate in 12.4 in 2022. How did we manage to achieve all these numbers, and what was the help of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? Right now, I would like to give you some financial data. During the last 4 years, we had 8 mixed meetings with Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Moldova, Turkey. We signed 47 bilateral economic and business agreements, 91 memoranda of understanding in all areas of financial collaboration, and 14 programs of common actions. And also we took part in 6 rounds of strategic collaboration, 4 with the US and 2 with Saudi Arabia. I could go into detail, of course. 45 strategic investments that were approved by Enterprise Greece and are a basic pillar in the process to approach new investments. These amount up to 8.42 billion euros. They create about 5,000 permanent work positions. The offices of economic and business services that work in our embassies from 2019 to 2022 have fulfilled 24,000 demands of Greek businesses, 310 researches of market, 179 annual reports, 96 business delegations, and 327 participations in international exhibitions while collaborating with businesses in the private and the public sector. At the same time, under the auspices of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we signed 16 MOUs, and the Export Credit Greece signed 8 MOUs with funds abroad, such as ADQ of the United Arab Emirates and Mubadala. While the number of strategic investments, as we said before, was 45, and it played a very important role in rating our country as an investment destination. Also, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and our diplomatic authorities abroad worked very hard to promote the participation of Greece in international organizations, such as the International Maritime Organization, the UNCITRAL, the UNWTO, and international exhibition offices in order to promote our voice and our image and our brand. We also spent a lot of time abroad by traveling, despite the pandemic, all over the earth, in an effort to outstretch our economy and redefine our country in the geopolitical map. Since 2019, we had 68 visits, and we took part in 14 fora and meetings. I'm going to present shortly our trips in 2022, and I would like to mention the targeted business mission in Japan at the end of January 2023 with the Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, the visit in Kuwait with Mr. Adanis Georgiadis, the Minister of Development and Investments, the visits between Greece and Saudi Arabia in March and May 2022, the induction of a Greek-Arabic business consulate, and also the creation of an underwater cable in order to transfer data from Singapore to the United Arab Emirates, then to Greece and southern France. The tightening of our relationship with the United Arab Emirates. In last May, we signed in Dubai 12 agreements and memoranda of understanding, among which the agreement of the Abu Dhabi ADQ and the Greek Investment Bank in order to create investments of 4 billion in Greece. There's already a steering committee that has been created, which is moving forward with steady steps. My recent visit in San Francisco, in order to support the technology investments in Greece, the important visits in the Balkans, in Serbia, Romania, Northern Macedonia, Bulgaria, Kosovo, in order to promote and deepen the bilateral relationships and the support of the Greek business presence in the area. Also, a visit in Argyrokastro in April 2022, in order to support the Greek minorities in Albania, which smoothened the ground for the further visits of the Prime Minister. Mixed meetings and mixed memorandum of understanding with various other countries in order to acquire strategic relationships. 25 points of the Turkish agenda were realized in order to rekindle the communication between our two countries. And also, I could not forget our innovative actions in the aspect of energy. During the last 4 years, we registered an amazing investment action, such as the pipes TAP and IGB, the pipe between Greece and Northern Macedonia, the FSRU unit in Alexandroupoli, that have great importance for the entire region of Southern Balkans, and also name Greece as a regional gate of energy, gateway for energy for Europe. Also, a project for Astipalea. I always mention it because it is a very good example of leapfrogging. At this time, we had to prove our worth with a very small but critical example. The project of Astipalea, along with Volkswagen, it's called Lighthouse, because this shows the capability of a country, of a government, along with a multinational company, to collaborate and showcase a project that will be beneficial for the residents of the island, but also for the country. We put emphasis on renewable energy sources and our efforts to make Greece autonomous regarding energy. Astipalea is the first smart and sustainable island in the Mediterranean. I'm very proud of that. And we also receive worldwide interest for this project. Also, great interest with the investment that is being designed in Kavala for the creation of a center of maintenance and regulation of fire brigade helicopters. In that way, we are trying to move forward, seek new strategic allies in order to promote our national interests. And the presentation of this new strategy for extroversion from Mrs. Loizou in a couple of minutes, and all the programmed actions really make us feel good that in the years to come, economic diplomacy will also play a very important role in the safeguarding of Greek economy. Last but not least, I would like to thank you all very much for the collaboration that we had. I'd like to congratulate all the members of the embassies and consulates all over the world, the General Secretariat of International Economic Relations and Extroversion for the realization of the strategic plan 2019-2022. I'd like to thank you for the support. And Nikos, personally, I'd like to thank you. And also, I'd like to urge you all to continue working with the same excitement for the years to come. Thank you very much.
Να ευχαριστήσουμε τον...
Let's thank the minister. He has managed to come, though his schedule is very, very difficult. You know, this year women play a very important role in extroversion. It's the first time we have a woman as a Secretary General. So I would like to ask the Secretary General for International Economic Affairs and Chairperson of Enterprise Greece, Mrs. Viki Loizou, to come up. Good morning. Welcome, Deputy Foreign Minister, Secretaries General, my colleagues, dear colleagues, ambassadors, those that are here and those that have joined us online, representatives of the business community, ladies and gentlemen. I will try to mention the basics, though the basics have already been mentioned by the minister and the deputy minister. Nevertheless, I will try to roughly present the national strategy for extroversion for 2023. I'm very glad because this is the third year in a row we have such a national strategy. And all through these years, we were based on continuity, consistency, and cooperation. Continuity, because the national strategy is an annual strategy, and it is well known now in the business community. There is consistency, though, because we in the ministry want to implement targeted initiatives in economic diplomacy. And there is also cooperation, synergy, because we need the cooperation of the private and the public sectors, the ministry and the various agencies. This is the added value of the national strategy for extroversion. The network of economic diplomacy and the openness agents have the same vision. The agents of economic diplomacy work with directors general in the relevant directorates of the ministry and the various offices of economic and commercial affairs around the world. So we have these traditional agents, but obviously they are connected with the real agents. That's the whole network of the directorates of the foreign ministry, our embassies, and of course the new organizations such as Enterprise Greece and Export Credit Greece. On the other hand, we also have various extroversion agents, that is, the line ministries. I would like to thank you for being here with us, but also the business community and the bilateral and joint chambers. I think that it is very important to make it clear that the national strategy for extroversion is something dynamic. We need to combine forces in order to make economic diplomacy a factor of a multilateral external foreign diplomacy. Ladies and gentlemen, 2021 was the first year of the national strategy. It included 458 actions in 38 countries. 2022, there has been an increase in actions, 670, 47 countries. Before the detailed presentation of 2023, let me mention the strands of this national strategy for extroversion. We want to promote the financial, commercial, and the investment position of Greece on regional and international levels. So actually, we want to enhance bilateral financial relations to attract investment, to promote exports, and also implement environmental and other projects using new supply chains, participation in energy networks, and technology transfer and know-how. Of course, tourism plays an important role, but we also promote another important region, which is development diplomacy in various countries. A second strand, evaluation, enhancing and upgrading extroversion services. We mentioned the two organizations that became part of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Enterprise Greece and ECG, and there is continuous work in order to have this real cooperation, not just formal. We need to have a single program and common actions in order to be able to say that all actions of all agencies of the business community, our agencies, and the agencies of our ambassadors around the world have common goals and will bring about common results. Thirdly, we want to enhance the role of our country in multilateral formations of financial cooperation, such as the WTO, and of course, our relations to third countries through the European Union. And we also focus on all types of cooperation and representation of our country in international organizations of paramount importance. I would like to point out that the economic diplomacy is something complicated. It's not just economy, it's also diplomacy. So we choose actions not only on the basis of quantities, but we have to be based on quality. Quality is very difficult to present. This is why we place emphasis on trying to show our exact targets and the implementation, because now we are in the end of April and the strategic plan started some months ago. So we have 779 actions, 46 target countries. Again, we see an increase in comparison to last year. But let us not dwell on figures. Of course, figures are telling of the activities we implement. Priority sectors. For us, obviously, enhancing exports. Half of our actions, about 450 actions, focus on exports. Then enhancing multilateral relations, bilateral too, 8 actions for multilateral actions, 43. We have 30 actions for development cooperation, and we work hard to be able to make development cooperation an important factor of economic diplomacy. And I could also mention some other actions in various sectors, such as energy, technology, transport, supply chain, tourism. This year, our actions, and all through these years, actually, we want to cover all countries around the world. This year, we have more actions, so we have more per geographic region. As you will see in our national strategy, we group our actions not per continent but per neighborhood, let's say, based on the political interests. So we have the Western Balkans, Europe, most actions are in Europe, the Middle East, just a few of countries, but we have many actions because this is a very important region on our planet. Later, we will see more details and examples in each geographical region. I would like to add that you all know, of course, that the Western Balkans, they are our neighbors, but it's a very interesting region from the economic and investment point of view, and geopolitically too for Greece. Greece is a pillar of stability, safety, well-being, and progress for the wider area, and can become the compass for further development of the Western Balkans. From the Western Balkan countries, you know, last year we chose Albania, so this year we chose Serbia to zoom in and see our 21 actions. This country is a partner in the region, and we have a surplus balance both in goods and services. Greek companies in Serbia have 25,000 employees, and this is a case in point of the importance of our relations. And of course, we have very important tourism flows. There are many investment plans to connect our two countries even more, be it in infrastructure or even more in tourism. Now, the wider neighborhood of Europe. It was the center of the financial and political interest of Greece. One of the target markets I would like to focus on is Italy. It's not the country with most actions. Nevertheless, it is a strategic partner for Greece, commercially speaking. Indeed, Italy is the first destination country for Greek exports, and this is why we focus on Italy in this presentation. There has been an increase in bilateral trade in 2022, and we have this 43% increase in imports. Therefore, our relations with Italy are established since very important Italian companies have a presence in Greece in energy, renewable energy sources, transport, and construction. We also know that in tourism, okay, Italian tourists prefer Greece, and there is a large inflow of tourists. So there are some positive things, and both countries recognize that there is room for further improvement. This is a good opportunity. We shouldn't rest assured when figures are fine. We have to keep on working, to keep up the good work, to improve relations even more. Now, the Middle East and North Africa, an important area for Greece. The Deputy Minister mentioned some actions last year in Saudi Arabia and United Arabian Emirates. These countries are very important for Greece because they are closely, geographically speaking, but they're also long-term relations, culture, history. In 22, we included only 2 countries in this region, plus Saudi Arabia and UAE, and our relations with the Arab countries is particularly dynamic. This year, we chose Israel. It's an important trade partner. Greek exports are growing. In 2022, Greek exports to Israel increased by more than 50% in comparison to 21, and there has also been an increase in bilateral commerce. The economy of Israel has a very good record in science and innovation, and this is a target for our economy too. This is why we decided to stress, among others, cooperation with Israel. 23 actions have been planned for implementation with Israel. Until the end of the year, we hope that we'll have the opportunity to fully implement these actions. Now, North America. We don't have many choices. We're not talking about the Americas at large. We focus on North America. Well, every year, Canada will not be as high as the US, though we think that our relations with Canada are very important and can be further improved. But now let's focus on the US, because indeed the US is one of the most important destinations of Greek exports. 6th position in 2022. It's definitely a strategic partner. We have attracted important investment of strategic import in infrastructure, shipbuilding, ports, energy, technology. I could say many things about the relations with the US, and of course, many visits. And we also have the strategic dialogue between Greece and the US, which has become an institution. It's a space for discussion, a vehicle of the bilateral relations between the 2 countries. 62 actions planned for 2023. They are 3 times more than the actions of 2022. And indeed, I think that at this level, we have achieved the best possible relations with the US. Central and South America. This region is not particularly developed. Nevertheless, it is dynamic. Last year, we didn't even put it in the presentation. However, this year we said that despite the particularities of these countries, in Central and South America, we decided that we wanted to stress that since these economies are large, Brazil, for example, which is the largest country from the population point of view, we would like to see Greek business there. We would like to see an increase in commerce. Of course, distance is of essence, and of course, there are these political particularities in Latin America, and sometimes we cannot really develop our relations. We have to be realistic anyway. You know, Greece cannot always do everything it wants. This is why we have a strategy and priorities. Now, Asia. The choice is even more difficult. Last year we presented India because the situation there is very dynamic. Or rather, last year, South Korea. No, India was 2 years ago. There are many countries which could be interesting. We keep having more and more actions. This year, we decided for Japan. Our Prime Minister visited this country in the beginning of the year. This is part of the national strategy. We already have 16 actions planned. Japan is the third economic power after the US and China. So it is also important that if we build a trusting relationship with Japan, and you see, we really have laid the foundation. I was there, and we had the honor of accompanying the Prime Minister to Japan. The Deputy Foreign Minister was there too, so we can say that there are very good perspectives. There are companies that are becoming more and more interested in investing in Greece, and there are several Greek companies, especially after the B2B meetings organized by Enterprise, see that there is a room for activity for them in Japan, which is a country that operates in a different way, and we need some time to build trust. Another region that has not been included, but this does not mean that there is going to be no development, is the Sub-Saharan Africa. We have 10 actions. You can see them in the detailed plan in Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa. So let's go to Oceania, Australia. I just wanted to point out that our relations with Australia are very important. The trade balance is in surplus for our country. Australia is a very rich country. As regards GDP, the trade balance is increasing in comparison to the previous years, and this is why we have to maintain this increased interest in both sides. You know, we also have many people of Greek origin living there, and we have to make full use of this opportunity to bring more Australian investment to Greece. There is investment already in tourism, but also energy, renewable energy sources, and of course, there are more perspectives to further improve inflows inflows of Australian tourists to Greece.
Through this presentation, this detailed presentation, of course, you are able to find more information per country and per action through the printed material that you can get at the entrance, the National Strategic Plan for 23. We're going to present it online as well. But I would like to spend a few more time in the fact that we're talking about a country, Greece, that has not yet developed its full actions for economic diplomacy. We can do more. I think that strong business relationships and the upgrading of the Greek economy will form a stable foundation. This is why we want to promote them and safeguard them. Already we have mentioned the stability despite the pandemic and the energy crisis. The record numbers of exports for the years 2022 and 2021, and also the record number for the past 20 years for immediate foreign investments. I don't want to tire you. The Deputy Minister has presented all those information in detail, but I would really like to underline the fact that the compass that is guiding us in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and especially in economic diplomacy, is to carve a roadmap in order to showcase our country as a dependable investment destination and also to promote the benefits of the Greek economy. This is our priority, and we believe that this is the most important thing we can do as a ministry for the diplomacy of the country. So in this framework, we had traditional tools such as international exhibits, worldwide meetings, digital tools, which were even more developed during the pandemic, but also funding tools and collaborations with not only the Ministry of Development and the Ministry of Finance through the utilization of European financial aid, but also other institutions, the Bank of Investments, the Development Bank of Greece, which really helped us multiply all these tools that we had in our possession in order to create the optimum result. In order to attract iconic investments in different areas, different sector, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, our authorities abroad, continuously promote investment incentives, fast-track procedures that are offered by Enterprise Greece, tax exemptions. We are helping with the digitalization of public administration in order to reduce the time. And I would like to thank the CEOs, the administrative boards of all these institutions, because we are trying to be next to the foreign investors, but also next to the Greek exporters. And the roadmap of economic diplomacy, this national strategic plan of extroversion, is a very important step. And I dare say I am very happy to be presenting this to you because, as the Minister suggested beforehand, it was the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was the first ministry to So the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was the first ministry to promote this national strategy, and I had the pleasure as a General Secretary of coordination of for extroversion in 2023. I had the pleasure to assist in this need for the creation of this strategy. I would also like to say that the creation of a long-term strategy is our ultimate goal, And the National Strategic Plan for Extroversion is the first step towards this direction, because with a long-term plan, a long-term horizon for 5 years or 10 years, we will be actually able to achieve this penetration in new markets, the constant presence in worldwide markets, and of course the upkeeping of these preferential relationships that we have with various other economies, and also the proper utilization of human resources and financial resources of the ministry. Also, I would like to thank all the institutions for their help, their suggestions, their collaboration in order to chart this strategic plan for extroversion, but also for the implementation of it, because this is the most important thing. It's not just a national plan that stayed on paper, it's a national plan that is being implemented, and it could have been made a reality without your participation and your assistance. And of course, our motive, as I said, because we're talking about a live organization, to develop it year by year, to move it forward in order to reach the level that we want to. Again, I'd like to thank you, Minister, for the collaboration. I haven't been working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for long, but our collaboration started since we started the coordination of the National Strategic Plan. Thank you for welcoming me, and I'd like to believe that even during this short period of time that I have been with you, I did something important in order to support economic diplomacy. Also, I'd like to thank all the members of General Directions who work with me on a daily basis, and also I'd like to thank the embassies and authorities abroad, because we wouldn't be able to do any of that without their help. And also a special reference to the people of foreign embassies in Greece, who really welcomed the National Strategic Plan with open arms and have transferred our goals and our programming to their own countries, back to their own countries, in order to help us in spreading our message forward and implementing all those actions. As I already said, you can find the text of the National Strategic Plan for Extroversion. It will be uploaded in the website of the Ministry, and it will also be sent to you by email. And despite the fact that he is not present here, I would like to help also Mr. Dendias, the Minister, for the collaboration. And I had the pleasure and honor to have worked with him since 2014. So this relationship, I think that it is based on honesty, close collaboration, hard work, because it was during the era of the memoranda in Greece and everything was very difficult. So this helped me to take this position in December 31st, and with the support of the General Secretariat and my office and my colleagues, we managed to present today the National Strategic Plan for Extroversion for 2023, and I really hope that this collaboration will not stop, and we will all be next to each other in order to realize and implement this project until the end of the year. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we have concluded with our presentation. On behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the General Secretariat for International Economic Affairs, we would like to thank you for being here with us today. Thank you for your presence. And for those of you who are online also, you can move to the next room in order to have a cup of coffee and continue the